Man, oh man, oh man. They don't make games that heartbreaking no more. I can't tell you the last time I watched a sporting event and I watched the end of it and it legitimately had me just like, damn. Like I honestly feel like I lost somebody right now. I honestly feel like I lost somebody right now. Just the way how the Indiana Fever lost that game to the Aces was absolutely out of this world. Multiple different aspects of just being completely, it should have never got to the point where it got to, and even when it got to how the game where it was towards the end of the game, it should have just been as easy as a Fever just finishing business and winning the game. But if any time was ever a time to look like a team that just isn't might not be ready for that next step, today would be the time. I got to give the Fever credit. There's not many times this season where I've looked at them and just been like, nah, they're honestly just not ready yet to win the championship. That's after the first Liberty loss when they had that big lead and they just choked. That's after the game against the Valkyries where they just come out here and they get suffocated. That's after that game against Atlanta where they got suffocated in Atlanta. Even after all those games, I still walked away feeling like, you know what, bad game. We'll be able to move on and we'll be able to move on. We'll be able to, build going forward. And I still obviously feel that way now. I obviously don't think that our season is over by any means, but this game meant a lot. This game meant a lot, and if you want to combine this game with the ending of last game, you walk away kind of questioning the Indiana Fever a little bit. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. The Indiana Fever lose a heartbreaker tonight, man. Lose a heartbreaker to the Las Vegas Aces, 86-84 off a Chelsea Gray game winner at the buzzer. That is also after Chelsea Gray hit a game-tying three at the end of regulation in order to send the game to overtime. And overall, just an amazing game from start to finish. Had some big performances. There were multiple times throughout this game where the offense for both teams was just kind of non-existent. And the Fever went on a big run, the Aces returned on a big run, and they kind of went back and forth, and it led that way all the way down to the end. So let's go ahead and let's just get into it, man. So the Fever, they jumped out and had a big 20-point lead at around the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Their offense was flowing. They were running up and down the court. Caitlin, I believe, had eight assists or 6 assists in that first half, running up and down. Aaliyah Boston was dominating the game, knocking down threes, getting into the paint, blocking shots. Michaela Timpson and her were doing a great job on Asia Wilson all night. Asia Wilson really, really struggled. You won't be able to tell based off her final stat line, but for a good majority of this game, Asia Wilson was not a big factor of it. She was kind of just throwing shots up at the rim, wasn't really looking all that close. She was taking a lot of mid-range jump shots. They just weren't falling. And like I said, on the other end, Aaliyah Boston was dominating layups. She's knocking down threes. Caitlin Clark just finding her off the fade on the pick and roll, and she's knocking that down. Kelsey Mitchell is doing her thing, and the Fever are rolling. They build a 20-point lead, and the Aces call a timeout. And after that timeout, I think that somebody got into Jackie Young's ear and they told her, hey, Jackie, they don't got nobody to fucking guard you. There's nobody on this team that can hold you, like not even a little bit. Like last year, I know that they had what used to be Sophie Lexi Hull. She's gone. She's not even like a player anymore. Do what you do. And Jackie Young was like, oh shit, you're right. And she took it upon herself to, before the half ended, take that from a 20-point lead, I believe, down to a single-digit game. And that kind of, started where you first started to see a couple of the cracks within the Indiana Fever. When things were going well, they were riding really, really high. The offense is flowing, the ball is popping, they're knocking down shots. Even though the three ball wasn't really falling too much, they were just still going downhill, being relentless, getting to the basket. And then once the Aces even gave them a little bit of resistance towards the end of that first half, they kind of like took a punch back. You know what I'm saying? Took a step back, like they got punched in the face. And the Aces were able to recover. They used some of that championship DNA to scratch back into the game. Coming back into the third quarter, the Fever still aren't able to get going. Let's see how many points they had in the third quarter. They're still not able to get going. The Aces are able to jump out into a big lead. In the third quarter, the Fever have scored 9 points. So after scoring 42 points in the first half, they went into the fourth quarter, with only 51, just like looking like a complete collapse, like from top down. And it was just, like I said, it was a lot of the Jackie show. Asia Wilson got going here and there. And then the fourth quarter came. And That is an entire game in itself. So in the fourth quarter, the Fever are able to battle back. Caitlin Clark's able to knock down her only 2 threes of the game. She shot 2 of 10 from 3 on the game. Holy shit! She knocked down those big those 2 threes to keep the team. And I believe that one gave us the lead. I think the other one I think they both gave us the lead. And basically, it's going back and forth, and we're able to get down to a point where we have a chance to win this game. And that's where we're going to pull up our first heartbreaking clip of the day. Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell with an opportunity to win the game at the free throw line. Actually, I don't think that Kelsey's are in this, but Caitlin Clark, team is down. Team is up 3 points. 3 points, 7 seconds to go. Aces have a single timeout. We just need one bucket. We just need a single point, and this game is over. And Kelsey Mitchell misses a free throw. Caitlin Clark comes back, and she's just not able to knock down the free throws, and there's no other way to really put it besides she choked on these, bro. She choked on them. Like, I'm going to give the woman credit when she's balling. I got to give her a little bit of flack when she does, when she falls flat, and she fell flat tonight. You know what I'm saying? We needed a free throw. A singular point wins this game. And for our player of the month to get one, and she misses the game-winning one, and then our 2-time back-to-back player of the week gets one, and she misses them, it's like, all right, that's not a great omen for the game. And then so Chelsea Gray is able to, let me see if I can go ahead and find the Chelsea Gray tying shot. But Chelsea Gray is able to come through on the next possession, on a possession where I thought it was going to get absolutely blown up. AB read the play beautifully. But here it is right here. So AB reads the play perfectly. She denies the pass to Chelsea Gray. Lexi Hull, unable to realize that the ball is behind her, lets Jackie Young come over her head. And the point guard, as I heard they like to call her, comes down and knocks down a game-tying 3, sends the game to overtime. And it really sucks because I saw the shit coming. From the minute that Caitlin missed those free throws, I was like, of course they're not just going to, tap the ball out and be able to just win this game. It's going to have to be something where the Aces are going to get a scramble and they're going to end up hitting a game-tying shot, and here we are. And then overtime happens. And in overtime, I'm not going to lie, coming out, I thought the team looked really deflated. They looked really flat. You can always kind of tell the level of confidence around the team based off how many shots Kelsey Mitchell is taking. And not really just how many shots, but like the kind of shots that she's taking. And to start overtime, she was taking a lot of tween, taking people to the basket, and she was getting fouled. She was single-handedly keeping us in the game. Caitlin comes in, and she hits a layup to, I'm pretty sure that brought the game a little bit closer. And then down the stretch, we're able to make a couple plays, get down to a 3-point lead. And this is where we're going to bring up our second heartbreaking moment of the game. So actually, first, we'll go ahead and look at one of Caitlin's threes. This is the 3 that gave us the lead. So Caitlin Clark, I think this is her first 3 of the game. She hadn't been making threes at all. Like I said, she was 2 for 10 for the entire game, just a couple of bad shots. For this one, this wasn't really the one I was most confident in. But hey, bro, I ain't gonna say I don't fucking trust my point guard. She knocked it down. So you know what I'm saying? We'll take that. But rolling on here, so many things wrong with this possession. So we have 24 seconds left on the clock. Caitlin Clark isoing Asia Wilson, right? Oh man. All right. So first thing is first. What are our options here? The fact that Asia Wilson is guarding Caitlin Clark at half court. And I said it in a tweet in the moment a little bit earlier in overtime. If Caitlin Clark is playing and she realizes that she has Jewel Lloyd trying to guard her at the logo, she has to go around her every single time. And same situation here with Asia Wilson. Caitlin Clark is exponentially faster than Asia Wilson. Not to say that Asia Wilson is not fast. She's a great athlete. But Caitlin Clark is faster. Caitlin needs to take this ball around the corner. She cannot sit up here and just try to go ISO on Asia Wilson here. I understood the situation. 10 seconds left. I knew what her thought process was. She wanted to shoot a step back. She was going to try to, set her up for a drive, then hit a step back and try to win the game, extend the lead or whatever. But she comes out here dribbling, just not going anywhere. We have timeouts. What are we doing? And then she does the one thing that she can't do. And the one thing that I honestly have to hold it on, I have to put it on her for this game. This is probably the first time in all the Caitlin Clark games that I've watched that I have to say her turnovers killed us today. Her turnovers single-handedly lost us this game. Just questionable carelessness. There were multiple times where Chelsea Gray just took the ball out of her hand. Her just trying to be too overzealous with passes led to turnovers. Even it's a situation where even if the ball gets through, you could have a situation where Michaela Timpson or Monique Billings got to hit a really tough layup, and it's just like it's not worth it. And Caitlin Clark's turnover single-handedly cost us this game. And in this moment here, we need her to get a shot up. We need her to get a shot up. The Aces, they have timeouts. Cool. Make them use a timeout. But what you can't do is give them this semi-transition play where now we have Caitlin Clark on the floor. We're going 5-on-4. And essentially, we're at the mercy of the Aces here. Caitlin Clark never gets back into the play, and it doesn't even matter. You gave Chelsea Gray this look, A-B late on the closeout, and that's your ball game. And, yeah, man, it hurts. It hurts. A loss like that really does hurt, bro. A loss like that hurts because you really wanted to be able to say, hey, listen, bro, even though we struggled, even though we blew this 20-point lead, even though, even in the fourth quarter we finally had, let go of the rope as far as being able to guard Asia Wilson, we still were in a position to win this game. We still had this game won, at the end of overtime, and just young mistakes by young players, and it happens to every team. There comes a moment in every team's development where they have to understand the actual winning plays down the stretch that are going to win them games. And last game against the Lynx, Aaliyah Boston, she heard not shooting that three-point shot, and then Caitlin Clark missing those 2 threes, and then Kelsey missing that 3. And then in just to compound that, the very next game we have moments like this where Kelsey Mitchell, our big scoring leader, she comes out, she misses a game-winning free throw. Caitlin Clark, our captain leader, she misses 2 game-winning free throws, and we lose the game. We lose the game. The players that we ride with, the players that lost us the game, and it hurts, bro. It hurts. That's a tough loss. That's a tough loss. Let's get into the stats just a little bit here. Caitlin Clark, we talked about it for a bit. Caitlin Clark with 20 points, 8 assists, 8 turnovers, man. Just unacceptable. And just not going to get it done, man. Not going to get it done when Caitlin Clark's giving us 8 turnovers, especially in these games against a great competition. And games against the Lynx, games against the Aces, Caitlin, those are the games where we really need you to lock in and be like, hey, we're not doing the turnover thing. Even in the game against the Lynx, where in the first half you have 0 turnovers, in the second half you had all 4 of your turnovers for that game. Combine that with 8 turnovers and for the totality of this game, and we're looking at 12 turnovers in all of 5 quarters. In all of 6 quarters. It's not going to work. It's not going to work, not in these big games. It's bad enough that her 3-point shot doesn't fall in these big games. 2 for 10, just not going to cut it. And she tried to salvage it. I got to give her credit. This could have been a game where she, 3-ball never really got going. She shoots, 6 for 25, and, we're just all like, God damn, Caitlin. But she did what she had to do. She made plays down the stretch, knocking down those 2 big threes, getting down to the basket, getting to the free throw line, assisting her teammate even with their turnovers. It didn't stop her from being aggressive. It just didn't work out in the end. Kelsey Mitchell, 28 big points. Really, for a good portion of the game, there was the only person scoring the ball at all. Like, after our offense went cold in that second quarter, Kelsey was the only one that was able to keep putting the ball in the basket. Even after Aaliyah Boston came out blazing, I think, in the first half, I think she had 15 points in the first half. For her to only finish with only 21 points, kind of like, damn, and for a good or honest reason, I don't understand why she stopped being so aggressive. Like, she was very aggressive in that first half, catching the ball in the paint, finishing quick, shooting the 3-ball well, and, we just didn't really see too much in the second half. And really, for the rest of that was really it. We didn't get performances from anybody else. Sophie Cunningham, 2 points. Monique Billings had 8 points. Michaela Timpson, not a big scoring game, but just an absolute great defensive game for her. She was all over the court. She only had 1 block, but she had other just great possessions where they'll play with Alyssa Smith where she grabbed the rebound straight out of her hands while she's coming back. That comes out. Blocks against Asia Wilson. Just great defense overall by Michaela Timpson. Just watching her growth over these last couple weeks just continues to be one of the most exciting things of this Indiana Fever season. And with there being a lot of games left to go, man, these are the games that we got to win. These are the games that we have to win. I know we have another game against New York coming up. I know New York isn't the same team, but they are still, a championship quality level team. And these are just games that we have to win. These are games we have to win. We got to have Caitlin being able to knock down threes against these big games because those are the threes that demoralize teams. Those are the threes that honestly lead to us being able to win games. And like I said, she tried to salvage it but wasn't able to. Let's go ahead and talk about the aces just for a second here. Chelsea Gray, I got to give credit where credit's due. She had 11 points. She had 7 assists. She had 5 turnovers her damn self. But 3 threes, 2 of the biggest shots, the two biggest shots in the entire game, the game tying 3 and the game winning 3. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. Jackie Young, like I said, when that switch flipped for her in the second quarter, she realized that nobody could guard her. She went on an absolute scoring tear. Even for her to only finish 22 points is kind of surprising because she looked like she was on a tear to go for at least 25 to 30. Asia Wilson, best player in the world, man. I really not much else you can say. I gotta say, story of this game, even though Asia Wilson did do what she did, has to be Aaliyah Boston and Michaela Timpson's defense on Asia Wilson tonight. Like I said, Asia finishes with 26 and 13. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. She's Asia Wilson. She's gonna do that. But something that I just keep noticing about these matchups between the Fever and the Aces is that Asia Wilson does not really feel like she has I don't feel like she has any desire to want to bang with Aaliyah Boston on a consistent basis. Like the way how Aaliyah Boston plays, she's very physical, she leans on you, she really probably wears out your body over the course of the entire game. And Asia Wilson looks like she wants no parts of that. And for good chunks of this game, Asia Wilson was not in the paint trying to wrestle with her. She shot 10 and 25. A lot of that was towards the end of the game where Aaliyah got into foul trouble, so she wasn't able to play as physical. But yeah, Asia settled for a lot of jump shots, and it really stood out to me. And I think that if these two teams do match up in a playoff series, that's something that I've been looking out for. Like a 5-game series of Asia Wilson and Aaliyah Boston, like that chess match. Because there are times where Aaliyah Boston can really dominate that matchup, and there are times where Asia Wilson's able to get the best of Aaliyah. And really, I guess it comes down to is Aaliyah Boston's foul trouble. Like if Aaliyah Boston is able to play, solidified, mature, disciplined defense, or if Asia Wilson's whistle was just off the chain that day, it can really kind of shift either way of how the game goes. And overall, man, just great game, but fuck, man, we gotta win that. We gotta win that. That's all I got for this one, man. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this game against the Aces. Let me know how you guys feel about it going forward. And yeah, that's all I got. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all in the next video. What's this?